Recording is in progress.
Thank you so much, sir. This is Mariam Khan. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, good afternoon to everyone. This is Mariam from Pakistan, Executive Director, Community Development Foundation, co-founder of Global Women's Development Network and President of 16 Days for Activism for Development campaign. We are today on our last day of the campaign, and we are on the closing ceremony today. And we are also going to announce the highlights of our impact report. And also we are having today very senior major professionals, many professionals on the regular speeches. And we have one senator from the ministry from Pakistan also. They are coming to join us for the closing ceremony, and also coming to discuss the way of removing deficiencies of the agriculture, especially in the food sector. So yes, we have again today a complete beautiful agenda with us, and thanks for joining us even on the closing day, supporting us, supporting this campaign. I have seen so many names which regularly joining us. Thank you, Senator Amia Atiq, for joining us in the program. And now we are moving towards the opening remarks from the chairperson of this campaign. This is Dr. Tamara Umar. Dr. Tamara, kindly, this is mic is over to you for the opening remarks. And thanks especially for you to joining us from your very busy schedule. Thank you so much.
Yes, Mariam, thank you so much for everybody being here. Good evening, everyone. Me, Dr. Tamara, from United States of America, the chairperson of this campaign and the chairperson of Global Women Development Network. I'm very glad to be today between all of you and to have everybody participating in our campaign, the 16 days development, the 16-day campaign of activism for development. And I would like to take the opportunity today at the end of this campaign to thank everybody who was participating with us in this campaign, and for the team members who put all the efforts, dedicated all the time, and support this campaign, starting from Mariam Khan to Prince Andrew to Princess Tsipi to Jean Kerr and many others, and for all our keynote speakers and all organizations and all individuals, everybody who's been with us in this campaign from the beginning until today. It's a 16 days campaign of activism, and we had a lot. It's been discussed in this campaign, many topics, and we had the opportunity to have speakers from around, I would say, 50. We had 50 speakers, and we had 40 sessions, and we had participants from 10 to 15 countries, which is very impressive, and they were all willing to add to our campaign and to put more valuable participations and speeches and presentations, and we were glad to have them. So our campaign started on November 25th, and today is the last day, December 10th, and we were glad for the outcomes and for the conclusions that we have as a conclusion and as a closing for our campaign. Just to remind everybody, this campaign provides multiple choices for all organizers and the speakers, organizations, audience, our audience, and the people who joined virtually and in person, whoever were there in Pakistan, choices to learn, implement, also accelerate all the choices that we have to invest in to choose a better life for everybody. And of course, we've been discussing the smart agricultural solutions, food and nutrition, and ensure food safety and security. That's the main goal here. Besides, we discuss the elimination, the violence against women. And today it's the closing event. It's a mega event, many participants there, in which many competitive leaders as well and professionals with with us today. So again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. And we're gonna be talking also. Let me just talk about whatever topics we discuss in the campaign really quick, just to give the idea for everybody with us today and to conclude. Because today is the most important thing is to conclude and to put all the results for our campaign. So we discussed many topics like the role of food and agriculture in regular income generation, involving women in agriculture business and entrepreneurship. Also, we covered violence against women, as I just mentioned, role of blockchain in agricultural development, also design and effective approaches for food hubs in networks, and ensuring the role of media and agricultural development, kitchen gardens and commercial kitchen gardens, model of food and agricultural diplomacy, nutrition as a fundamental right, and also the most important objective here, we were looking to secure more solution for agriculture and smart agriculture, and to kind of, I would say, fight malnutrition, and to have more solution also for safety, food safety and security. So by this, I believe I gave you kind of a general idea about what have been done and accomplished in this campaign. And today we're gonna, with this closing event, we're gonna the most important thing, the most important target here is to conclude, to have the conclusion, the objectives, and to talk about the roadmap. The roadmap here is going to be by letting everybody know that we've been in contact with many organizations around the globe, and VIPs, government decision makers, and also international society, and many other funding parties where they are really interested to join us and support us in this campaign. And they've been waiting for our conclusions, our remarks to be considered as the foundation to start the real project. And I just mentioned in day number 14 that we are really working on really projects, implementing really projects here and US and around the globe. Why? Because it's not only an event. Many people were working with us. We are looking for the real solutions to be delivered to our world. We need to be realistic. We need to be practical. How is that? By delivering a real project to the world and start working and implementing this project to start a change. We want to change what's happening, or at least gradually, and that's going to be through implementing the project. And let me take the opportunity today to announce officially, me as a chairperson here from US, that we are opening the doors for everybody, all organizers, our audience, all organizations, all the parties, whoever willing to change and add in this regard to submit projects. We are opening the doors to receive all the projects that that has value, and it should be a professional project where it's going to be based on it's going to be let's say based on surveys for realities and for real communities, and then it could be with a feasibility study. We're looking for a project that's going to be covering the strategy plan, management plan, financial plan. Everybody, I believe, knows what's needed in these projects to be delivered for such a practice. That's why everybody's really, whoever really willing to submit any project, is responsible to bring us the best for these projects, and to be at least to be highlighting the most important points and based on real numbers and the real need in their society. So we can deliver such a project, and then we will be able to study these projects and to deliver it to the right people who are willing to work with us and start the development process in terms of the agriculture, in terms of the smart solution for agriculture, and fighting the malnutrition, and also for food security, and also for women violence. So again, we are very glad to receive all the projects. Whoever willing to join us, you can submit your project, and we're gonna support you with all the emails where you can submit your project, and then we're gonna make a closed session or a private session with every party to discuss each project in particular, and then we will move forward and proceed where we're gonna discuss it with other parties and other organizations where they're willing to support, and we will start to implement the project and start the development process in certain communities in or certain regions around the globe. So that's now the plan after the last day today, and after we close this event, and we reach the end of our campaign. After that, we're gonna have another projects in another stage in a very near future. So I would. Let me conclude here by saying again, thank you so much for everybody who's been participating with us since day one and added a real value. It's very appreciated. We appreciate everybody's work, and we are now in the process of implementing all the results that's going to be at the end of this campaign. And as of today, I would say it's the start of a new era where we will be all joining hands together to start the development process in this regard. And at the end, we want the woman to be participating in all these projects, to give her the chance to be more empowered and more powerful, and have a value and have a real role in her society. So again, thank you so much, everyone. I was really glad to talk to all of you today in this campaign, and I hope that we will be always together, and unity always making wonders. Being together, we will achieve all our goals. We're talking about the development in general and women empowerment and specific targets for each project as well. Thank you again, and let's have the chance now. Let's give the chance for all our participants today to add, and then we'll go to back. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tamara, for joining us today for the opening remarks. And thank you so much for the special announcements regarding the action plans soon after this campaign. And it's a tangible way forward and sustainable takeaways for all members which are coming from the day first in this campaign. And they definitely concern, on the completion of this campaign, that what exactly we are going to share with them as sustainable takeaways for every member. So thank you so much for your kind announcements, and thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. So now we are moving towards a quick round of one video, which we have prepared based on all available speakers members throughout in 16 days. And soon after this, then we have today's speaker one by one with us. So I'm going to play the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. These are all the powers of these 16 days. These are the pillars. The campaign is based on their talks. The campaign is based on their words. And you people are, taking this journey till today. So we are really grateful and for the joining and also to participating from your organizations, from your different platforms, and from as an individual also. So we are really thankful for all kind of participants. So this is a tribute to all speakers through this video. Thank you so much. And Sir Andrew, this is over to you.
Well, thank you, everyone, and welcome. As many of you may know, I am Andrew Williams, Jr., and you'll see that Andrew Networks is powering this entire collaboration, but you are all part of the Andrew Networks. So we want to thank you very much for joining us today. We have two special guests. One is Dr. Nelly Guicho. However, I have to ask if Mr. Sheldon Williams is with us for him to do the initial presentation, because not only is he a world humanitarian, and his organization, the Ed Fu Foundation, has been a quiet sponsor to all of our activities since May 25th of 2020. So, Mr. Sheldon Williams, if you're there, please let us know about how the Ed Fu Foundation, which is based on addressing Indigenous and women's issues around the world, has the power now to reach out throughout the entire world, locally in your Oakland, California area, as well as in Brazil and other places, and New Zealand. So, Mr. Sheldon Williams, if you're here, now's the time for you to unmute and introduce yourself.
Hi, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate the warm introduction. Yes, my name is Sheldon Williams, and first of all, I'd like to take the time to thank everyone who participated in these events, and wish you well in the new year and all happy holidays. The work that you're doing is very important, and it means a lot to me and to Andrew and to everyone who will be touched by the efforts that you took time out of your busy schedules to do here today. So I just want to make sure I let you know that we of the world appreciate what you're doing, because a lot of times people don't realize just a little step, any little thing you do does make a difference. So again, thank you for that. My name is Sheldon Williams. I'm the president of Ed Fu Foundation. We are a United Nations ECOSOC NGO. We work, as Andrew said, in the space of uniting the diaspora and uniting the world. We advocate primarily at the UN level, but we also have local programs as well. As many people say, think locally, act globally, or think globally, act locally, right? So we do food pantries, and we feel that food and nutrition is paramount to our people's upliftment and success. We also believe in a matriarchy, so we make sure that we advocate for equality for women. CSW 66 is fast approaching, and we hope to see you all there. If you're interested in participating, if you don't already have panels, please check out our website, edfufoundation.org. We will be hosting panels, and we're always welcoming people and panelists and guests to observe these things. Yeah, I don't know what else Andrew would like me to say, but we are currently working on the Permanent Forum for People of African Descent. We're part of that work group that will be launched in 2022. The UN has not announced it yet. It took, I would say, 6 years of the decade of people of African descent to get the UN to pass this resolution to have the Permanent Forum, but it's here now. And so we're working to try and make sure that it is a success. Please support that, look out for that. And like I said, if we at EdFu can assist you in consultation or in any way, reach out to us. Again, thanks again. And over to you, Andrew.
Well, before you leave, Sheldon, I do want to let everyone know, if they go to your website, edfufoundation.org, there is a partner request form. So we're asking everyone to indicate how we can help you accomplish your goals and objectives. But Sheldon is too modest. He's working also with the Conservancy Corps, and in Oakland, California, he's dealing with food issues. This entire 16 days has been focused on agribusiness and how women can be impacted. So Sheldon, before you leave, tell us the work you're doing about food, not just in Oakland, but also in Brazil. And then I'll let you get on with your day. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm also a part of the California Black Food Council. So it stretches, throughout California. Basically, like I said, we are working on food sovereignty, food security. One of the ways we address this is with a food pantry in Oakland. We give out food every week. Another way we're addressing this is farmers markets that are culturally inclusive. And we are also very interested in agribusiness and helping farmers. We have, again, we try to connect the diaspora, and we've been fortunate enough to partner with some Colombos in Brazil, and we're looking to help them with their agribusiness and, making sure that their food's secure and, possibly even having a pipeline to exchange goods and services. So that's what we do over at FFU, and the Conservancy Corp. So again, thank you all for supporting this wonderful event. Sorry I have to rush off, but it was a pleasure to be amongst you. And yeah, have a great day. And Andrew, I guess we'll talk later.
All right. Thank you so much, Sheldon. Really do appreciate your help. Our next special guest is Dr. Nelly Guicho. I had the pleasure of meeting her several months ago, and I've always been inspired by her work. In addition to her own work through her organization, she also has been supporting causes in multiple countries around the world. In fact, she is herself involved with the 16 days. So Dr. Nelly Guicho, could you please unmute, introduce yourself, and proceed? The floor is yours.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much for the invitation. My friend, Mariam Khan, I just want to extend my gratitude to you, and I want to congratulate you for your efforts and achievements. I mean, 16 days has been a flip. And I know you've had sleepless, almost like sleeping 1 hour. I've done that. And just to get out there and, be the voice of others, because many people cannot be able to do what we do. And so it's important, for people to step out and just inspire other people. I may not say that I'm perfect, but all of us have a calling. We have a calling, that soft voice that we have to go out and just share what we have. Well, as you heard, thank you so much, Andrew William. It has been a pleasure the whole of this year working with you and just crossing paths with you, and it's been rewarding. So I will take a short time. Again, I'll introduce myself. I'm Nelly Nyonzima. Nelly Guicho. Nelly Guicho. And yes, I lead an organization that is both on supporting sustainable development, and that is women and children also. And I'm also, we're expanding on inclusion, innovation, and more of collaboration. And so also, when you ask me to talk about the nutrition, food security is important. I come from developing country. I've grown up knowing what a garden is or a farm, and how important it is to boost nutrition, especially in developing countries, because with poor nutrition, then we have children not going to school, for instance, or sicknesses. Also, we have women, especially pregnant women. It's important that we have good nutrition. So that's about food security, that's important, especially when you talk about development. That's agriculture is important part of economy. And that is what most of people are relying on, especially in the rural areas. And so when we talk about, small businesses, and we know that COVID has really hit hard on so many people, especially in the rural areas, and we see extreme poverty. But we can't lose hope. We have to tie in together and share whatever information we have. People, all men and women coming together. And, during these 16 days, we've been talking about gender-based violence. That's a challenge. It's a real challenge. The men that I'm working with, I was sharing and I say that it's difficult sometimes to talk about these issues openly, because then it goes right in, our privacy, and nobody wants to talk about that, but it's an issue. It's a real issue that is cutting across our social life and affecting the growth, or our daily life. So that is it's been a journey for these 16 days, and just to gather information and to pull together with all of you. And I'm just still open to learning and progressing with all of you. I don't have so much to say. I'm just rushing again for another meeting. And so, I just wish you really happy holidays if we don't chat or anything. And I wish you all the best in the work that you do. Thank you so much.
Before you leave, please make sure in the chat you put your website information and contact information so we can support your activities. Thank you so much, Dr. Guicho.
Thank you so much.
Back to you, Mariam Khan.
Thank you so much, ma'am, to accepting this invitation and joining us. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Thank you. And now I'm going to request from Pakistan. This is Senator Mia Atiq. Sir, thank you so much that you accepting this invitation at last hour. And but you always supporting all kind of development work. And I must appreciate on this platform that whenever we call in any meeting, you are always available for supporting us from Pakistan. Thank you so much. And floor is over to you for your speech. Sir, kindly unmute yourself.
Just 1 minute. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mariam. I really feel honored when somebody call me for such a blessed work, which is for the humanity, which we all are doing for just to make a life easy for everybody all over the world. And having such a graceful people from all over the world here on your forum, I really feel honored to be here, and especially with my very near and dear friend and brother, Prince Andrew. Maybe he is there or not, because I always really, with his grace, thank you very much, my brother. Wish you always good luck and always appreciate the way you do for others the good things. So let's start with today's topic. That's really something that is the agri solutions. And while talking about food, the one thing we should say that food for all. Yes, we, not only the human beings, everybody whosoever is there on the globe, we all need food. So now, as the world is changing, and the world is changing towards the digitalization, I must say, let me introduce with this thing that I'm the first digital senator of the world, just because of this, that I have worked in this Corona days on the digitalization all over the world, and especially for the legislation. I have written to the United Nations as well that the solution for everything today is the use of technology. And while talking about today's topic, I'm really honored that as Dr. Tamara, the chairperson from USA, she was saying this thing that we all are talking about, we are working for global women entrepreneurship, and especially in the this agribusiness. So I must add just quickly, because the time is very precious. I wish that everybody should be given to the opportunity to talk. So very quickly, I must say that today is in the era in which we are in this digital world, we need the smart agro solutions. Again, I repeat, we need the smart agro solutions. So by adopting that, the agri-tech startups, we have already started in Pakistan with the visionary women, as you said, from the and the youth. And the youth, we have taken up the youth for this, that they should start up with the new technology, with the new vision of themselves, and to go in this agriculture field to get more, and the output which we are talking about, that is the yield per acre with the strong and healthy nutritions which is needed. If we talk about last 50 years or the previous technology, in that we have seen that no doubt that the people were going for, they were taking the food, but the nutrition was not so strong, and just because of that, people were having lot many diseases. So now it's high time to talk about this thing. And then on the other hand, we should talk about the biotech. While talking about the biotech, we know that there are lot many research on it, and while doing that, definitely we can have a better atmosphere in which we can grow more crops. Then here we were talking about just few minutes ago regarding the kitchen garden. So I must say we should adopt this kitchen garden as a hobby. And trust me, if when we have adopted it in our this capital, which is one of the best capital in the world, which is Islamabad, in my kitchen garden, whenever we are having any type of vegetable, it's small vegetable, the quantity is very little, but it gives us immense pleasure that we grow something by ourselves, and we are doing something to eat for the food, and we are growing some food. So I'll request everybody here that we should go for kitchen gardening as well. Then in the end, I must say that I request as a legislator to my parliament and as well as the decision makers that we should go for strong legislation in every country. Whosoever sitting here, having the contacts, having the relationship with the legislators, I must say that we should make the strong legislation for the healthy food. If we are not having the proper legislation to grow the healthy food, we don't want with the filthy water our vegetables should be grow there. And then I must say that as per my suggestion, we have made few digital apps on the smartphone. So I'll request and I'll give the option to anybody. I can see very good faces from, one is Muhammad. I can see from the iPhone. Hi, Muhammad, brother. How are you? So then the other faces as well, I can see. If any brother want, any person want any type of help from us regarding the legislation, regarding the IT, or the experience which myself, my team, my people have got, we are open to everybody. Thank you very much once again to all the team. And really, I feel there is hell of work to organize this 16 days conference on such a topic which is need of today. So I appreciate the efforts. I salute all the team, Mariam, with you and everybody, and especially my brother Andrew, that you deserve for a big round of claps too, that you have done each and everything. And today, in the last session, in the closing session, definitely we will conclude with some workable things which we can do in future, which is betterment for all of us. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Senator. And also make sure in the chat you make available ways for us to reach you and ways that we can support your efforts. We love you so much. Namaste and assalamu alaikum.
Always welcome, my
Back to you,
brother.
Miriam.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for the sustainable solutions to overcome on the deficiencies of food from the globe, especially because we are focusing in this campaign 3 major components. Number one, that food and smart solutions, agriculture solutions. We are also focusing on food and nutrition and moving towards the safe food safety and security. So the objective of this campaign is removing malnutrition from the young kids 0 to 15 years of age. So this is the overall campaign. And thank you so much that your talk is most relevant towards the topic. And now we are, thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Now we are moving
I beg
towards...
leave. Thank you very much, because we are organizing another international conference and they are waiting all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. So now we are moving towards our next speaker. Is from South Africa, and this is Dr. Matthews Zegma. So Dr. Matthew, are you with us? Sorry if I can't pronounce your name correctly, because in the name, Princess Epi always supporting us to recall the names. So if you are with us, kindly unmute yourself, and floor is over to you for your speech. And Dr. Matthew is coming to address with us the herbal medicinal product for the cure of sugar diabetes. So, sir, are you with us?
Yeah, that's Dr. Tutuzeli Zamkata.
Okay, sir.
Oh, yes. So sorry, is it Matthew? So, my apology. I didn't know that she was referring to me. Sorry about that.
Sorry,
Yes.
sir. Actually, I'm not very good in pronouncing the name, especially for the different countries. So that's why we always requesting Princess Seppi to call the names. So thank you so much for joining us. Floor is yours, please.
Thank you so much. Then I will just share my few slides here first. Thank you so much, Program Director, and greetings to all the participants. This is really a privilege for us to be part of this wonderful 16 days of activism. We really thank even Tsepi, who has connected us, made us to be part of this wonderful the 16 days of events. We really appreciate it. So I'm not alone. I'm with Chief Ramabulane and Frank. Let me just quickly share my slide. I will quickly run through them. Now, just hold on, you will tell me if you can see the slides. Can you see my slides?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed, as I mentioned, is Dr. Tutuzeli Zamkaka. So sometimes we have a lot of cliques in our tribe in South Africa. We're from South Africa. I'm together with Chief Ramabulane and Frank. And so we are going to present today, about herbal medicinal products for the cure of sugar diabetes. And then just to give you a background of a company, we have VUPO project and trading. So we trade as VUPO Traditional Medicine Solution, which was conceived in 2010, and then we registered it in 2016. So we are 100% Black-owned company, and our aim is to make sure that we offer traditional medicine solutions to patients that need organic remedies, which come from nature. And then we have Chief, as I mentioned. Chief is the descendants of the King Makado, who used to use these traditional medicine in treating ailments and disease before the Western medicine came through. And then, so I came into the project as a scientist. I'm a microbiologist, nanotechnologist. I also work in astronomy, so I'm a multidisciplinary science. So now, World Health Organization actually defined traditional medicine as a medicine that includes diverse health practices, approaches, knowledge, and beliefs, incorporating animal, plants, etc. in one, maintaining the well-being, treating, even making diagnosis and preventing illness. And those who read the Bible, you'll see that in the first book of the Bible, God also mentioned there and say, I've given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of the earth, and every tree with seed and its fruit, you shall have them for food. And then in the last book of the Bible, it says that the leaves of the trees will be for the healing of the nations. So if you talk about food, nutrition, and medicine, then you cannot separate them. So you talk about the same thing. Yes. So we have been given these plants, for the food. If you look at now, zooming down to diabetes, which is really a problem. If you look at herbal medicine, is really rapidly growing in the economy. Let's check here. In 1990, for example, about $0.86 million were used in it, and it grows up, in 2000 5.4 millions of dollars are currently used in the market for diabetes. I haven't checked it in the recent years. I can imagine that they should have escalated. 1996, you look at Canada, for example, in using the market for herbal products. 1996, about $15 million. 97, $23 million. 99, 32. You can imagine now in 2021 how much market that we have for herbal products, because people want herbal products. I'll show you why. In Britain, for example, $92 million. In 94, look at 2002, $184 million of the market for herbal products. And then if you look at now, why traditional medicine, one of it is accessibility and affordability, especially in developing countries. If you compare, for example, the traditional healer and the medical doctor in Swaziland, if you look at Swaziland, one traditional healer uses, services about 100 people in the community, but medical doctor, 10,000, one medical doctor service 10,000. You can see the disparity between these two. In Ghana, 1,000 traditional healer services 200. In Uganda, one is to 700. And then medical doctor, one is to 25,000. Same as Mozambique. You can see that this has got a lot of market. Traditional medicine or herbal medicine has got a lot of market. Even developed countries as well. I think I've shown you Canada and Britain. They're also using. Why? The people are trying to run away from chemical drugs because of adverse effects that are caused by them. What's the problem? The problem, this problem is not only in South Africa. As I say, many people, not only in South Africa, but in the whole world, suffer in a number of ailments, including sugar levels, diabetes, blood pressure, stomach ulcers, arthritis, cancer, you can name them, you see. Yeah, and this brings a great burden to our governments as they have to supply free medication to people because there's no employment. People are not working in our countries. Modern medicine does not cure some of the ailments, like diabetes, for example, is a chronic disease. What we have in the medicine, the conventional medicine, it just provides symptomatic relief without restoring the glucose homeostasis, which gets into the cells. So now with our medication, we come and cure disease. I'll show you, how we do that. And then if you look at the stats of death, actually the 10-killer disease in the whole world, HIV is the first. Look at diabetes. In 1997, it has been about, it was the 10th one. And then 2010, it went up now. It became the 9th killer disease. You can imagine in 2019, 2021 with the coronavirus, it should be up now. I haven't checked the stats currently, but you can see that diabetes is a problem in the whole world. And then we brought this solution. What is our solution? One, we have developed products, a number of them. Is not only for sugar diabetes, but I thought for this meeting, then we just chose it. We have medicine for sugar diabetes, blood pressure, stomach ulcer, arthritis, toothache, general body pains, for kidney alignment, body circulation, cancer. So we have all these from the trees. Some of the trees, we found that these are fruit trees that we mix, and then they bring miracles. And then, so our technology is already in operation. People, are testifying diabetes is a problem. You can see people are injecting themselves with insulin. Some are losing legs, amputation, some are losing their thumbs. It's a problem. This is the team that I work with. And then if you can see, this was CSIR in South Africa. This is a scientist that were trying to do formulation of our products. And then you can see Chief Ramabulane here, who is the custodian of the indigenous knowledge. Because I mentioned that he is a descendant of Chief Makado. We've been using this medication. These are just our packaging. But now we have graduated to a capsule. We have moved because we have found that people who are, Christians and Muslims and all the believers, they tend not to like to use the traditional medicine. And then, so now we have converted it to capsules and all that. So, and then we see a lot of uptake of it. And this medicine, they heal people. This product heals people. We have testimonies. For example, we have Melisha's wife, who was a nurse, and then was diagnosed of diabetes in 2003, such that in 2017, doctors began to amputate the toe, and then wanted to amputate the whole leg. But after meeting with us, and then, within 5 days, just hold on, there are people making noise here, just hold on. You are making noise. Sorry about that. Yes, so just after 5 days of getting our products, the doctors made a checkup and then they took her out of the medication. The wound was healed. Then Mulaudzi from Alexandra is one of the townships in Johannesburg, also suffered with diabetes and his kidneys failed, could not function. But after a month of using our products, the doctors took her out of the conventional diabetes chronic medication, and we have these people, they are completely healed, So we have a number of these things, of these testimonies. These are just few of them. The products, why? What's the value proposition of these products? One, they give better and quick results, which in a week you see a difference. And then these products are cheap, they are affordable, almost all people, including pensioners, are able to have an access. They are safe, no adverse side effects. These products are they completely heal the disease compared to most products in the market, which suppress the disease. Job creation is created. We have a number of people. Chief I'll ask him to come in and tell us, how many women and people that we have employed in this, healing patients and suffering. We heal patients that are suffering in this disease and relieving the burden that the government or the health sector is having. So these are the things that we have. Products, market segment is big. Local here in South Africa, a lot of problems of diabetes in even global market, for example, Department of Health, pharmacy distributors, a number of people that, we have a market. Our challenge now, currently, we are developing these products in the kitchen. At least with the capsule now, we are partnering with the university, one of the universities in South Africa, which then they're helping us, in developing the capsules. And then, so we're developing most of these products in the kitchen, so we don't have a space. We still need a lot of funding to establish also the scientific data. Herbal products have no scientific data. Hence, then I came into the program to make sure that these products then have got scientific data, and that needs finances. And then develop formulations that are going to be presentable to people. Build factories. We don't have a factory. We were looking forward to machinery as well. Currently, one of the universities helping with their machinery. We want our own machinery that we can do. Land is not a problem because chief is having a land in his area as a chief. So we can have a land there. But now what we need is just plantation, developing that land and all that. So I think, yeah, so, and then I think I will end there. But what I want also to end with is that with this medication, this diabetic medication, what we're suspecting is that how does it cure the diabetes? Because diabetes, the problem is insulin that is not released into the blood. When you have high blood sugar level, it means that in your blood, the pancreas does not secrete enough insulin into the blood to take it down. If it's a low sugar blood level, it means that your pancreas secretes a lot of insulin. It doesn't sense whether now there's no sugar in the blood. So now what we suspect, which we are busy now in the lab, is to check whether it fixes the sensitivity of the pancreas, which then must sense whether there's high level of sugar in the blood or low level and secrets and all that. But I think let me end there. And thank you so much also for this opportunity to be part of this. I'll just give Chief just 1 minute, 2 minutes, just to add, especially looking at how we incorporate women in our activities. Thank you, Chief. Over to you. Can you unmute Chief quickly? Unmute, Chief. Unmute. Frank, can you help him to unmute?
Yes, what's your name?
Can you hear me?
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you once more. Even though my colleague, Dr. Zamkaka, has spoken mouthfully, I will just add more meat on the bone. So as a poverty reduction, we are doing well with women.
You disappeared, Chief.
Technology is only great when it works.
Production.
Oh, he's with us.
Hello?
Yes, Chief. We can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, then we always put ladies on the front, like Nomsa Mushungwa. She's our production manager.
Yeah, I think we're suffering with network in the Chief's place. Chief is in Limpopo.
Yes. We are also helping them. For an example, I once come across a young girl, aged 3, being suffering from this diabetic. So
I think there's a network issue with Chief side.
Go to the house. I say this is our opportunity to introduce us other colleague, because on our program we can say all people affected by or infected by this diabetic, those who are waiting for amputation in the because most of the family members just to come to our institute to say, hey, Ramabrana, can we get a permission to relieve the patient from the hospital? Then I say yes. So most of them are happy and they are doing well. So I will no longer waste the time. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Let us help one another and fight this poverty alleviation by involving women and help all nations around the world. I've got not so much to say. Thanks. I don't know whether Frank might be giving something.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you so much, Chief. I think
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you have done everything. So I give it over to you to Program Director if there's any question. Thank you.
Well, before we do that, sir, make sure we have the way to contact you in the chat so that we can follow up with you. But we want to make sure all protocols are observed. So we do appreciate the Royal Chief and also all of the dignitaries that are here representing not just South Africa, but Indigenous people around the world. So we want to give you a heartfelt thank you. I myself am in Los Angeles. We have a daily increase of people suffering from diabetes who are losing their limbs, particularly those in the poorer communities, particularly our women. So what you're speaking of, I'd like to talk with you about ways we can expand your work. But again, please make sure that we follow up with you in the contact chat so we can make sure we follow up with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We'll do that. I'll write our emails and contact details right now. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for joining us. And we have, as per our previous proceedings, we are having 3 questions with the doctor. If anyone want to ask questions, you can put your questions in the chat. And sir, you can take 3 questions from the audience and answers them within 5 or 6 minutes. So house is open for the answer questions, please.
Sorry, should I answer the question? Is the question there? Do you want me to answer it now?
Sir, if you are receiving any question in the chat, or someone wants to ask something about your topic, about your speech, so house is open for the answer questions.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much. There's one question in the chat which says, great presentation, Dr. Mtu. I need to ask that we normally hear that, or the saying that we cannot use the word cure. So we can use the word cure. How, so I think we just say, yes. How did you overcome the use of the word cure? All right, yeah, no, indeed, it's really difficult to claim that it shows the word cure, I understand. But why we're using that word is because there are people that were diabetic, declared by doctors, and came to us. And after that, they went back to the doctors, and then the doctors, they took them out of the medication. And then until now, they are still healed. They are just living their life. They are eating sugar. They are eating everything normally. So as we do, but then I think we must be careful of using it until then it is scientifically proven. So, but thanks for that. We will just be conscious. I don't know if there's another question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you read it for me? I don't see.
Well, technically, we just had Joan Kerr to join us. Typically, she always asks questions. Unfortunately, she did not hear the presentation. So, Joan Kerr, I want to let you know that our guest speaker just revealed that we in South Africa have delivered herbal remedies that have cured diabetes. And he's asking us if there are any questions from the audience. So, Joan Kerr, even though you have no idea what we're talking about, I'm sure you can come up with a question.
Sorry, I was on another call, and this was the earliest I could get off. So, I'm very interested in this idea. How many people have been treated? How did you treat them? And why do you think you've solved the problem?
All right. Let me give Chief to answer that. I'll come after him. Chief, come in. Can approximately, Chief, how many people that we have cured? And then how did we know that we solved?
Okay, more than 3,000 who are now living a normal life. Then the issue is, how do we work? We, after treatment or what, after they utilize our medication, we refer them back to their medical doctor to examine them. Most of them will find that their sugar levels more than 30 is no longer writing any number, just indicating age, meaning that very high. Then after utilizing our medication, it comes back to levels 6, which is normal on the sugar-related medication. So those who are having an appointment with the doctor to amputate their leg, they are being released by the medical doctor that they will no longer amputate the leg or cut off the leg or whatever is affected. They are completely healed. Thanks.
Thank you, Chief.
So,
we have
sorry.
one.
Sorry, I just want to have a follow-up question. So how did you assess them and work with their doctors, or what was the assessment and what was the solution? Like, how did they link?
What's
the question? Hello?
So actually, I think she's asking, how did we assess? Do we work with the doctors or not?
Yes, we were working with the doctors indirectly because they are being diagnosed by the medical doctor. Then after they found that they are not getting any help, they come to us. Then after we give them our medication, we refer them back to the medical doctor for checkup and confirmation. That's why we say we can heal, even though sometimes they do not allow to say we cure.
Correct. So we work closely with nurses in such a way that there are some nurses that who know about our medication. They refer their patients to us to say, this patient is going to be amputated. Can you please help them? Within a week, you find that, there's a difference in the patient because our medication normally heals 1 week, 2 weeks, third week, people, and it's both type 2 and type 1 diabetes, because type 2 and type 1, you get born with the diabetes, and the other one gets it when he's old. Both of them. There was a lady in my church who had a child, I think 13 years, who was born with diabetes. And this girl had sores in the whole body. And then she took one bottle, which is about 1 liter, which lasts for a week. And then the girl was out of sores. The sores went out and she got healed. And then she began to ask other, medication products that we have. So it doesn't matter what type.
So we have a hand raised by Syed Iftikhar, and we also having 2 questions in the chat. So kindly, quickly, we can take first question from Syed Iftikhar, and then we take 1 question from the chat, and then we will finish to move to the next speaker. Syed Iftikhar, please.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And first, I apologize for my late entry because I have just traveled from long 400 kilometers from Lahore to Islamabad, just arrived for my presentation. I got entry to this board very late, but I have one concept to want to share on board with the worthy guests, that in Pakistan, we are thinking about to launch the diabetic sanatorium. Diabetic sanatorium will having the latest technology of the food behind 2 acres, organic food crops we will sow for the patients only. And we have prepared about 25 combos. That is a blend of foods which we serve in the breakfast, in the afternoon, in the lunch, and in the dinner, so that a diet plan will be available to the diabetic patients in the sanatorium from their own fields. And then we have also poultry, this brown chick poultry for fishery, for the pond, and available at that farm. That farm is especially for the diabetic patients. We are growing the organic food, just helpful for their quality of life, to maintain and to work out and to have a good quality of life in the future. That is our approach, and we need your help in the future to establish such institution in Pakistan. Thank you very much.
Before anyone else speaks, I would like to ask the digital senator if he would work with Joan Kerr so that we can have a case study of these activities and this relationship, because we are dealing with a pandemic now, but we will be dealing with a hunger pandemic. And it's important that our outcomes here are documented and also proven. For the doctor in South Africa, I would ask that you begin, if you have not already done so, to compile photographic evidence of your activities from beginning to end, so that these can become case studies, and we can then translate the information from English into all the other languages in Pakistan. Because as you may or may not know, Pakistan was formed of 5 different indigenous groups. The name Pakistan deals with the indigenous peoples of that area. So in South Africa, you're dealing with the indigenous people there, particularly with the traditional leaders. And with the chief involved, I think it's very critical, Joan Kerr, that we begin to document this activity, but I would leave it to the digital senator to be the one to bring this to a high-level description so that we can involve policymaking as well as funding commitments. So thank you. I'll be quiet.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Indeed, we will be very happy to be part of Pakistan's initiatives. And then we are going to put our details immediately. I stop the questions. I will put my details there so that we can get into contact.
Thank you very much. That's great. That's great. Thank you very much.
Yes, I think there's another question there which says, in the US, one was having high blood pressure, and then when he came to Ghana, then the blood pressure went down. So what products can be used in the US? Yeah, so I'm not sure what we have a high blood. We have a high blood products for high blood, which then works in South Africa. So I don't know if then, because of temperatures and all that can change, is something that we can explore. So, but our product currently, sorts out the high blood pressure. Yeah. Thank you so much. These are the questions that I've seen. I'm not sure if there's another one.
Thank you so much.
Due to time constraints, I'll turn it back over to Miriam. But yes, please put your contact information into the chat, and we can follow up on a regular basis.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the great presentation and also introducing your product, not only for the sake of speech, but we can take this presentation and your product and your services definitely in a good collaboration. And we are also, this is the takeaway for us as well today, that we are taking this opportunity to collaborate with you on this, serious kind of issues which the world is facing right now. Thank you so much for joining us, you and your chief. So now we are moving towards our last speaker today. This is Syed Iftikhar Shah. Sir Syed is the head of food and agriculture sector, Community Development Foundation, Global Women's Development Network from Pakistan. And he's a senior agriculturist and also member of vice president of Agribusiness Pakistan. This is a big agriculture organization. And today we are going to have a very important talk to introducing food and agriculture diplomacy model with goals and capabilities. So thank you so much, sir, for joining us on this important topic. And this is basically the food and agriculture diplomacy is going to be the way forward of this whole campaign today. So thank you so much, and floor is over to you for your speech. Thank you.
To me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mariam, and the worthy members on board. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatsoever the time there may be for the rest of the world. I am so much obliged by this honor that you have again making me eligible to have some words with the session on the concluding day. Actually, I think that this is not a concluding day. This is not an end of marathon, but it is a start of a new era. This is not a finish line. This is a startup, and this is a start. This startup will determine us that how much we have gained consensus and work and teamed up, how we have teamed up to go for the challenges in the future. So I must share my screen with you, and you can see the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So this is actually introducing food and agriculture diplomacy model with goals and capabilities. One by one, I will go over that. I'm because senior vice president in the Agribusiness Pakistan, and Community Foundation is our collaborative. BIP is our collaborative, and now the new sustainable city we are managing in Lahore, that is Ruda, and they are our now partners. So we are going to start the next slide, please. Yeah. So in continuation with the 17 development goals presented in 16 days of this campaign is a start of new commitment for all members on board with their respective countries. We have teamed up as one family to serve humanity and to eliminate world hunger. Rest assured that we will work together on the ground realities and brainstorm further to achieve our desire for sustainable food security and safety. This is agri-diplomacy need of the time. And first I will go with the Pakistan's perspective.
Sir, excuse me, your slides are not moving.
Okay.
We are still on first slide.
Okay, just a minute. 1 minute. Oh. It's okay now?
No, sir. Still, we are on the main slide. Yes, now we can see this.
Okay. It's okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this, you can see now need of time. Pakistan's perspective, first we will go with the Pakistan's perspective. In this backdrop, Pakistan government's reorientation towards geoeconomic is a leap forward because we are in continuous struggle with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Pakistan for the purpose. We welcome and recognize the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Pakistan efforts on economic diplomacy, science diplomacy, and digital diplomacy. Farmers feel motivated by your unrelenting determination to focus on the need and requirements of Pakistani businesses, local farmers, and support Pakistan's economy through innovative ideas and initiatives. Pakistan has an untapped potential to exploit markets for naturally grown and organic produce. We have a number of niche markets products which can open up doors for volumes in a number of developed markets. A value addition drive with the engagement of young professionals linked with farming communities to ensure quality and reliable product for international markets. We can also actively engage women in production and processing of high value niche and commercial agricultural products, which can help to uplift rural economy too. The Ministry of National Food Security and Research is primarily focused on domestic market with a firefighting mindset. And here in the red screen in the computer, developed and emerging economies, prime focus is to cultivate business, trade, and safeguard national economic interests. And this is the, I think, the key lines which we should consider in the future. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been diligently pursuing multifaceted agenda with policies, strategies, and action plans to address geopolitical, strategic, and geo-economic interests of Pakistan, including thorough, vibrant economic diplomacy, including through being an agrarian country. Pakistan's major exportable products are moving around agriculture sector, which has the capacity to move up and add on the national exchequer and foreign exchange. We therefore propose the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of member countries to launch an agri-diplomacy initiative as an important part of their renewed focus on geoeconomics. And Ministry of Foreign Affairs must launch agri-diplomacy initiatives, which will generate the additional sources of foreign exchange, benefit our local farmers and businesses, and realize geoeconomics goals that must rightly be at the center stage of the federal government's agenda. And these geoeconomics goals are the same as we have given the 17 goals for your 16 days marathon. These are not so much difference in that. This is again some pictorial that traditional farming no more buy-buys. We don't want to move further with these practices in future by the ladies with this farming strategies and this farming practices. We have to practice, and sericulture silk production units like this, they are very much earning field, this one, but it should be value added, it should be processed, new technology should be there, and more ladies should be indulged into this sericulture silk production units. In Pakistan, we have started this campaign. Forest Department of Pakistan has at least 10,000 families of women. They are now in this business in Changamanga forest. We have grown mulberry plants, 100,000 plants in this season. Mariam knows that. So that they can easily, and we import this sericulture spores from China. And they are very, very much economically now they are happy, and they are grown in the past 2 years. This one is mushroom production units. They are very effectively gaining the respect in Pakistan in our women communities. And Mariam has also inaugurated, I think, 2 or 3 units also in Lahore. And they are very successfully marketing these mushroom production units. And these are superfood. This is a superfood. And in 2035, WHO has recommended this superfood as a protein nourishment and protein alternative for the future population, which is going to be doubled in 2050. What we want to say now that we don't want to go with the practices, traditional and old practices. Now, what we want to do this smart farming, increased production. It leads to increased production. Water conservations, we can settle with that. Real-time data and production insights, sustainable blockchain, lowered operational cost, increased quality of production, accurate farm and field evaluations, improved livestock farming, and reduced environmental footprints. And these are on the way. And we have started this capacity building in our central Punjab region from some areas, and in tunnel farming and some of the drives in the upper Punjab. And solar energy they are utilizing in their own fields, small farmer ladies. This is very encouraging for us. Cosmetology again, and this lady is Elora Beauty Salon. I have previously also, just for introduction, I am again refreshing this to the board, that organic crops you can grow on 1 acre or 2 acre, and you can run your cosmetology salon very effectively for a community. And that 1 acre can meet your requirements for about 300 or 400 ladies per week. So you can't neglect this force. These are our kinder farmers and our pearls. So big power. They need to be assembled and trained in compliance with their future challenges for sustainable food safety and security. By now, you should go in the schools, you should go in the primary and kinder schools to give them the awareness that why the schools are closed, what this COVID has done with us. So grow your own food that will be safe and eat your own food. And so they should have a common sense and know how to cook, how to grow, and what is the value of a good, pure food. So this is your seedlings also. One seedling is the crop, and second seedling is your generations, which are going to be built in the future. We should have a healthy generations like that, and we must focus on that schools where your female students are on board and where female teachers are there, so that good mothers should be in the future with good population and good generation, which can feed them with the pure organic food. And she can capable of value addition and production of that foods. So then this is again, after we were discussing before we were discussing this agri-diplomacy, this is one of our findings, that there should be a need of agri-consultant forum within the member countries. That is very much important to design a charter for identifying the professional needs, capacity building and training courses of farmers. You can schedule that. You can even bilaterally, you can exchange that trainings to address the relative perspectives and indicators for upgradation of agri-zones. And those agri-zones which are specific for some specific crop, you can go for the new genomes, and you go for the soil fertility for that and soil regeneration chapters. Again, next is the validity sustainability of existing legislation in local agricultural systems, because each and every community have its own legislations that should be more friendly, and some but have some problems, reservations, but we must go ahead to work together to simplify them and to give the ease for the farmers to work with the free mind and freedom and with good capacity and good training in the future. And we should modulate the current practices toward home gardening. It's very important, and so many lectures have been given by our worthy ladies, and I have listened, gone through that. There's a credible work is going over the globe, and peri-urban agriculture, permaculture, and agritourism. And again, I will add to this sustainable city development module, which we have started in Pakistan by the name of Ruda Ravi Urban project. We have in 47 kilometers at the river bank of Ravi in Punjab, where Knowledge City and 4 agri farms of 90 acre each, they have been designed for a permaculture values. I will give you the details later on to the board members of this conference. Next one is Agribusiness Forum. I think word Agribusiness Forum may be introduced to avail the best possible offers, chances offered by the corporate sector, Chamber of Commerce, and industries of member countries. These collaborations may lead to enhance the import-export volumes, technology sharing, production capacities, value addition, and marketing networks. Mutual retail food outlet chains, just like McDonald's, just like other so many food chains, you can go for your own cultural, local, and organic chains. You can introduce in the world market. Traditional menus and yummy recipes all around we have may be introduced, established within member countries. This is Young Agrarians Forum. This is the actual spark which can glow your future. Motivation, internship training of young, talented, vibrant groups to generate more and more agri-entrepreneurs into the system. To unite their energies for interactive education links for an effective and competent horticultural sense, communication skills, and leadership qualities. Launching of seasonal on-farm campaigns to serve the underprivileged farmer communities, to improve their bilateral professional managerial skills and cultural relations among the member countries. Then is the common finance and funds important. To launch a common finance funds to support the victims of natural disasters around the globe or around the member countries, wherever the poor farmers, if they are affected, we can help them. To award the fully or partially funded scholarships for the deserving graduates, and an interactive approach to offer special admissions in the colleges, universities of member countries at graduate and postgraduate levels. To manage and issue interest-free loans for smart startups in their respective territories. Taking the advantage of UN being on board, we can effectively move ahead with workable networks. Regional consortium, it's very important, need of the time. To establish regional consortiums among the member countries for maximizing the output of preparing a charter, taking into consideration the interactive legislations, accreditations, R&D, quality assurance, technology transfer, and span of activities. It will also be helpful to prepare a code of conduct for more authentic and feasible business modulation. Plan to involve professionals. This is the important thing. For maximizing the production output and business volume, following professionals may be integrated to serve jointly. That is a horticulturist, for example. Horticulturist is there for crop productions as per the demand. Biochemists, R&D, genomics, and quality assurance, clinical biologics, their responsibilities. They can serve for their domains. Then with the pharmacists for processing, value addition, and sales at food pharmacies. Then nutritionists, patient counseling, food prescriptions, nutritional recipes in ailments. just a lecture given by the respectable member for the diabetics. IT blockchain consultant to assure the work done and the documentation which is related to all these to assure the sustainability and supply chain. So we, on my behalf, I can conclude this as an ambassador of Pakistan with all the Pakistani fellows on board in this session and who are regular attending this from last 16 days. I am really feel energetic to take oath to extend my services in order to counter the challenges of stunted growth and malnutrition community around the globe. I offer myself and my countrymen to be the first to go ahead with to empower you and to go ahead to combat these challenges further in the future. We are with you, sir. Thank you very much to all the organizers on board for conducting this high-profile session marathon successfully from last 16 days. Hats off and salute to them. I really appreciate this effort and thank you very much from my side, from Pakistan.
Well, thank you, sir. Please stop share so that we can retrieve the page. But Dr. Syed, I have to again encourage you to understand there are geopolitical implications of everything we're talking about.
Yeah.
Next year, for the first time, the COP27 will be held in Africa, in Egypt. We have a year to get ready for that. We have trillions of dollars invested or committed on the part of governments, corporations, and international aid organizations. However, it is only when we demonstrate at the grassroots that we have solutions that we can connect the dots between the top 1% and the bottom 99% so that we are 100% committed to the survival of our families and our earth. So I thank you so much for everything that you're bringing to the table.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Back to you, Miriam.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful and beautiful presentation. And your presentation itself is a final report of these 16 days of activism. So you make my work easy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Of course, you are my mentor and I have to take the advantage of that and I have to take care of all of you. And everybody know I feel a family. I feel this on this dashboard, whatever the member is there, we are now one family.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. This is really a wonderful session. And this presentation, I think so, it's all about the 16 days of activism for development. I must say that we all can, if we review, so I can, with your permission, we can share this on the group also. Okay. So I think so every professional, every speaker can take advantage of this presentation.
I will send you the details in your email just after this session. You can share it with everyone. And everybody is welcome to have more details from me. I can give them.
Thank you so much, sir. So we have the answer question session with Sarif Takar. If anyone from the hall want to ask any question, although the presentation is very much comprehensive and understandable, but as per the procedure, if you want to ask, yes, Sir Lloyd want to ask question from you, and definitely our Ma'am John Kerr also.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself.
So many times I want to have a chat with you, but I failed to take you on board. I'm very unlucky. So welcome. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. That was an excellent presentation, and I took out so much from that actually. On this last day, I've not been able to attend every one of these 16 days, but I come in as I can. I'm with the Global Unity Business Group, and we are, of course, putting together the Global Unity Network, of which we have a chapter in Pakistan, of course, led by our colleague Mariam. And so we are trying to move forward with our programs to deliver what we call the life learning gardens, the Unity Gardens, it's another name. So
and your
of course,
question, Lloyd.
yeah, so of course, we are supporting these open source regenerative climate smart solutions. I guess my question for you is if we could have a follow-up discussion, as you mentioned at the beginning, especially with my colleague Bill Sosinski in New York. If we could set aside that time, that is essentially my question, because I would like especially to talk to you about potentially integrating our tea diplomacy initiative.
Yes,
into
we
your
do.
food
We do have that.
diplomacy initiative as well.
If that's the question, then yes, the answer is yes. He's already made available his contact information in the chat.
Yeah.
But I would urge you to understand, Lloyd, that this collaboration is actually part of the UnityNet collaborative. So we're all connected together. But in the interest of time, perhaps we could have the questions submitted, and then he can have an opportunity to answer 3 of them at a time. So next question, please. Thank you.
You are welcome anytime, sir. You are welcome.
Thank you.
John Kerr, welcome, ma'am.
Hi, how are you? Great presentation. Thank you so much. And I love the idea of agriculture diplomacy. I think it's very respectful. It's comprehensive, and it involves everyone without excluding anyone. And it gives many, many opportunities for people to participate, which is what I always look for.
Sure.
So my question then is, this is the go forward model for the platform. Is that my understanding? For this platform?
Yeah, we have started with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and I can give you the write-up also, and I can give you the legislations which we have put forward to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I will give you the model and write-up. I will send to the Mariam and Mr. Andrew. I will share with them. And with the passage of time, with your Ministry of Foreign Affairs, what the policies are going there, you can take it as a role model for that. And if you need anyone else more, I can share with you, no problem.
So,
well, yes, Joan, actually, Miriam has empowered me to allow this platform that we're now on to be our sustainable development goal number 2 and focus on agribusiness. So the short answer is yes. I'll have more full details when I have a chance to make a presentation.
I will receive some answers. I will receive some answers from Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the next week. I am hoping so. I'm in Islamabad for the purpose now, for 2 days here for the same purpose. Whatsoever I get, I will get the input from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and some approvals. I will share with you.
okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
We have one more hand raised. This is Fazlin's iPhone. So kindly, ma'am, unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, Program Director. Greetings to everybody from South Africa. I just wanted to, when the information is shared, I also wanted to ask our colleague that just did the presentation to also flesh out, certain agricultural techniques. When we look at, for example, the indigenous people, we are many years ahead of using particular techniques, but also behind in the sense of resources. So when I look at the context of South Africa in particular, we are looking at certain techniques that we can educate. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Colleagues, can you? Okay, great. So when we in South Africa, like we've got an agricultural project, but there's many cooperatives within for example, many cooperatives in a particular area. So we are trying to teach the indigenous people that because we don't have the resources, that we should start, organizing small farmers to introduce. Hello?
Yeah, I can listen to you. I can listen.
Oh, okay. To introduce more cost-effective ways of farming, like for example, to share resources, to share the machine, to share farm inputs, establishing of cooperatives, so that we can organize folks, but also to partner with commercial farmers to meet and supply demands and to tap into their existing markets until such time we have grown. So, you know, just for the sake of the information that you are sharing with the program director to also include techniques.
Faslin, thank you so much for your question. We'll address 3 of them at a time. So the next person, Princess Alaganori from Nigeria, please introduce yourself, tell us where you're calling from, and state your question, or put it in the chat. And then Syed will have a chance to answer them, and we can move on. Thank you so much. Princess, you're next. Nubia Africa TV.
Thank you.
Nubia Africa TV, your hand is raised. Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good afternoon. My name is Princess Aladegroye, and I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. Can you hear me?
And see you, yes.
Okay. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. I would like to ask, what are the measures that we are putting in place for people who are in the, sub-rural areas, and they are into agriculture, and they really need a lot of facilities. They have the land, but they need equipment to do large-scale farming and planting. What's the group it's putting in place for people who are in much more rural area? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Although that might be answered more fully as we proceed, but I'll turn it back over to you, Miriam.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think so. Sarif Takhar can give the best answer regarding the techniques and resources and everything, because he is taking care of this sector from Pakistan with us. So I think so he's the best person to give the answer.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Miriam, for considering. Yes, I have understand your question that in the rural areas, in the underprivileged areas, the small farmers which don't have the resources, they want to grow up, and that whole our campaign is for those people. In Pakistan, we are also focusing this segment of the farmers, this segment of the community, and we are giving the full access to them. We go ourselves with the processes, with the validation, with capacity building material, with the resources, with the small machineries, with the validation processing plants to their fields, so as to train them to build their capacities. So you can enlist the some of the things which you need. So we can, that is why I have given the idea of regional consortiums, so that we can identify your needs and we can then manage further resources on your local basis at the lower levels.
Thank you. Next question, or Maria?
No, sir. Thank you so much for the questions, and thank you so much, Sarif Takhar, for giving the comprehensive answers. Now, I think so we are moving forward, and as per our commitment, now we are moving towards the highlights of the 16 days of activism for campaign report. And this report is going to be shared from our chief organizer, Sir Andrew Williams. And the detailed reports about the highlights, he will share with us, and what will the procedures to get the final report from this platform. He is going to share the procedure also with us. So, sir, thank you so much for it's time for your presentation now. Thank you.
Well, thank you all. I'm going to begin sharing my screen, but I'm going to take a station ID first. Hold on. Let's share. Just for the purposes of today, we are now entering the closing ceremony of these 16 days of activism for development. However, as Miriam has indicated, and Dr. Syed, this is not the end, it is only the beginning. We are, in fact, able to share with you a summary of the impact report that has been prepared for this day's event. However, it will only be those of you that are part of our ongoing collaboration that will get the full report. And I'm going to begin the report at the end. The idea is that this is a call for projects for action, not just for these 16 days, but for the remainder of this decade of action to deliver the Sustainable Development Goals. So each of you need to be aware that the little work that we do, the small work, the efforts that we make in our local area have global implications. So we do want to take this opportunity briefly to go through this presentation. However, as I say, those of you that register with us will be able to not only receive the complete report, but be able to contribute information so that we can move forward together in a comprehensive manner. This impact report covers the 16 days of Activism for Development campaign. It has run, as you see, from the 25th of November through today, which is very significant in that it is the Global Human Rights Day. However, the challenge that we have with the Sustainable Development Goals is that we have to make sure that we do, in fact, leave no one behind. So in our effort, we have presented an overview of our goals. Briefly, they are to deliver smart agricultural solutions, focusing on food, nutrition, and food safety and security. This impact report will be presented as a case study, not just for our own benefit, but also we do intend to make this a global distribution of information at the top levels, including the United Nations Global Marketplace that the Global Women's Development Network through Dr. Tamara has just joined. Also, we will have participants such as Joan Kerr and the Ed Fu Foundation, who are a member of the ECOSOC. So our intent is to have a professional presentation that will allow this to be replicated around the world. These 16 days of activism did focus and was designed for creating awareness on innovative agriculture, food and nutrition, and providing smart solutions for food safety and security. But the intended outcome is to save families through women participation. You'll find the table of contents covers rural development with support of information technologies. So that is the answer to Nubia TV and your earlier question. It will also address urban farming for food security. By 2050, over 50% of the world's population will be involved in cities. They cannot survive without a direct connection with the rural economies. But as our earlier guest spoke, we have to begin with household and family farming in order for us to reduce the carbon footprint that now expends over 70% of its expense in transporting food from one place to another around the world. The fourth section deals with suggestions for preventions from violence against women. Until and unless we address this key issue, nothing can proceed. We have to have equal rights for women as well as men, but also we have to understand that these solutions impact the entire community. Everything is data-driven. We are now in what's called the fourth industrial revolution. Nothing moves without proof. Nothing moves without evidence. So it's critically important that we involve our universities, our high schools, our elementary schools, and our pre-K schools, all with the tools and abilities to provide us with data at the granular level that will allow us to have credibility when we address major issues. The fifth area will be injecting information technologies in rural development. The sixth is transformation to sustainable ecological farming. The seventh deals with multimedia activism for building a strong movement. Eighth will be the tech world and food security to minimize threats to farming families. Of course, that also means removing threats to the soil itself and to our earth. We have to keep in mind that on a global scale, it is the indigenous population that are the earth protectors, the water protectors, the food protectors. So it's critically important that we measure our impacts by partnerships that demonstrate the relationship between the international and indigenous populations. which is why this platform is only part of our ongoing effort for March 4th through 8th of 2022 to have a global platform for the International and Indigenous Women's Development Conference, of which all of you are invited to participate. Miriam, I'm letting people in, so please assist me to mute them if they are not able to mute themselves. Okay. There's a theory behind social impacts experiments that we address here. In this presentation, we'll also deal with the design of effective impact experiments. Again, data-driven solutions. We have a review of all of our speakers for the past 16 days. And again, we focused on those three major components that were discussed earlier. You'll see here a comprehensive list of the days, the sessions, the participants, and the topics that were covered. The intent is for us to engage all elements of our partnerships, including the 150 students, interns that participated earlier in our collaboration with the University of Management and Technology in Pakistan, and the upcoming 100 interns that will be following through on the 16 days to provide a global platform so that we can be accessible around the world. Over the 16 days, we have participants from over 10 countries. We had over 50 speakers, and I would say even closer to 100 when you consider the audience participation as well. Facts that you need to understand. About 9.2 of the world, or 689 million people, live in extreme poverty on less than $1.90 US a day. Investing in the disinvested communities will be the fastest way that we can achieve the Millennium Development Goal of ending poverty. And I bring to your attention, the Sustainable Development Goals, that phase that we're in now, is only the second iteration of the 1,000-year plan, but we don't have 1,000 years to get these things done. That's why we're asking you to make a commitment. I myself am 63 years old. When I turned 50 years old in 2008, I made a commitment for the next 50 years to invest my last living breath on accomplishing these objectives. So I ask you to make a commitment as well. But we have to do this not for ourselves, but for the future. Children are the future. And nutrition is a fundamental right of every child. It is up to us to provide the gateway for them to have multi-generational wealth, beginning with their own health. Chapter 1 of our presentation will deal with the economic dimensions of agriculture. This includes a snapshot showing that agriculture added a value of over 73% of the world's GDP between 2000 and 2019. That's over $3.5 trillion. What we're dealing with has to be understood in an exponential impact, from a perspective that our individual efforts have a collective impact that impacts the entire world. So it's up to us also to understand that the share of agriculture of GDP has been stable at about 4% since 2000. But the economic dimensions of agriculture have to address the global workforce employed there in that. Agriculture employed over 874 million people in 2020, or 27% of the global workforce, compared with about, compared with about 40% in 2000. As we look forward, we have to understand also that the use of fertilizers and pesticides have a negative impact on the very soil that we use to grow our foods, fruits, and vegetables. So it's critically important that we nurture our soil as we nurture our food. Chapter 2 will deal with the production, trade, and price of commodities, because at the end of the day, we're not talking about the handful of strawberries that you pick. We're talking about the global impact of primary crop production around the world, and the impact of primary crops was 9.4 billion tons in 2019, 53% more than in 2000. So we have exponential impact even in incremental stages. And it's critically important that we all understand and educate ourselves about the production, trade, and prices of commodities. So the middleman, if the middleman is taking up 50% or more of the profit that would otherwise go to the farmers, then the only way we can achieve a circular economy and provide a reduction in inequalities is to empower the people at the bottom, at the grassroots. We will include a breakdown of meat production and also cereal trade, not just in Asia, but as it relates to the interconnected world that we're involved with. That involves Europe, the Americas, and Asia. All these are critically important to our understanding. So we have to educate ourselves first to be able to educate our children and our communities. Chapter 3 will deal with food security and nutrition. Well, just to let you know, to review, the prevalence of stunting among children under 5 years, as well as the number of stunted children, decreased worldwide from 33% in 2000 to 22% in 2020. The decrease took place in all developing regions, with the largest drop in Asia, from 33% in 2000 to 22% in 2020. However, this global process may have disguised a starker situation in some parts of the world. The prevalence of child stunting is still extremely high in some countries, sometimes reaching more than 50%. And a majority of the countries with a high prevalence of stunting are in sub-Saharan Africa. So it's critically important that we do what the United Nations has done. We look at the world now, not from a standpoint of countries, but of regions. So there is, in fact, a United Nations segment focused on South to South cooperation. So that means, Dr. Syed, that you are perfectly placed to be the one to connect the dots with the doctor in South Africa as a demonstration method that we can use to move forward. And Joan Kerr and Lloyd Helferty, I have to bring to your attention that just this year, January 1st, not only saw the launch of the African Continental Free Trade Area, but it also saw the launch of what's called Brexit. That means that now those countries that were formerly involved with the Commonwealth of Nations, that includes all of the countries, or most of the countries in Africa, as well as those including all of the 5 segments of the population in Pakistan and your neighboring India, are all part of this global network. It's up to us to have the collaboration and communications and language that gets our politicians to understand, Dr. Syed, that the work that we're doing in our personal efforts have implications on multiple regions around the world. Some of the issues that we have to be faced with are food security and nutrition. That includes the dietary energy supply. As earlier, the focus on diabetes was focused also on the use and the increased obesity, which is a contributing factor to the symptoms of diabetes, and eating healthy foods is the primary way to address that issue. So from the doctor from South Africa, it is our commitment to you to not just assist you in the export of your goods throughout SADC, which is the Southern African Development Community, but throughout the entire African continent, but even more so throughout the world. I here am in the United States, so what I can commit to do is work with you through what's called Power Africa to be able to address those available governmental sources that assist our collaboration together worldwide. Thank you very much for this time to introduce this. I'll turn it back over to you, Mariam.
Thank you so much, Prince Andrew, for this comprehensive report's highlights. And I think so we try to cover all segments of 16 days, which we received from our practitioners, from our leaders, agriculturists, or different speakers from different spheres of life. So it's all, house is open for the questions. If you need to ask any question regarding this report, you are most welcome. And also we have one important announcement regarding this report, that this report is available for the members. The members which are going to be registered with this platform soon after this 16 days of activism for development campaign. And as soon as you registered with us, you registered with directly with the agriculture, food and agriculture sector. And Dr. Saeed and me is going to be develop this group, the 16 days of activism for development agriculture group is going to be operate from Pakistan or even from the neighbors countries or all member countries, so we can work collaboratively under each other's supervision, under each other guidance and leadership. And so we can, you all can register yourself to be the member, to get this final report, to become the member, and also become the participate in the upcoming different kind of activities, initiatives, models, or even project proposals, which Dr. Tamara announced today, that we are going to receive your proposals, your projects for the funding purposes, especially in the agriculture sector. So this all work is only become possible when you become registered member. Thanks for joining us in this campaign, but we need, we are not going to leave you after this campaign. We are going to take this whole campaign members and our companions, we become a family. I totally agree with Dr. Said that now we become a family in 16 days. We regularly seeing each other, we regularly listening each other, and we are listening and talking about the same concerns, about the same issues, about the same gaps. So now we are able to, I think so now we are reached at this point where we can confidence with each other, we have trust on each other, so we can share our information, we can share our thoughts with each other, which is having a single purpose to serve humanities under the sustainable development goals, and under the Global Women's Development Network platform, Community Development Foundation platform, and also the big sponsor of this program. This is Andrew's network. We all are always available for your support. So thank you so much. And now house is open for your comments, questions, or even suggestions to take forward this platform. So over to you.
Well, thank you. But first, Miriam, let me say that in the chat, I put the link to the Community Development Foundation. Is showing on your screen. So I'd like to ask each of you to go to this page and to register your email address at the bottom so that we can connect directly with you for upcoming information. There will be multiple ways that we can communicate, but I would suggest that we take all of them and not limit ourselves to one. But this is, in fact, one of the ways that we can move forward to connect the dots together. I am going to share my screen one more time briefly, I think, with some great news for everyone here. What started out as my own effort, Andrew Williams Jr., in 2009, when I was appointed as one of the first Facebook ambassadors, it took me on a journey that allowed me to involve myself with goodwill ambassadors around the world. So Andrew Networks happened to be just a viral launch that Miriam and Dr. Tamara and Seppi and others have now made a brand of itself. But all of these are part of the AHIABGA group and ambassadors. We will be launching a TV network along with Lady Alicia Hamilton, who's one of our media ambassadors. And we have already secured the website for AHIABGA.org. It is not yet active, but we do want to let you know by the end of the year, we will be interviewing each one of you on Conversation with Andrew Williams Jr. for 30 minutes to describe what your own individual organization is doing. And we need to treat this as an infomercial. When we do that, we're able then to get free publicity on commercial broadcast networks, but we have to have it as professional as what's already out there. Right now, only 5 corporations own 95% of the world's media. However, the grassroots has the power in their hands with their mobile phones and with other devices to produce content that has educational information, but also can involve us in the strategy to work together to achieve the sustainable development goals locally and globally. So I'll turn it back over to you, Miriam. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much. And we have our 2 senior analysts with us today. This is Sir Lloyd and then Ma'am Jonker. So I'm going to give this opportunity first, Sir Lloyd, to share your comments about this journey of 16 days of activism. And then Ma'am Jonker, we also need your final comments before today's closing. So Sir Lloyd, this is over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Miriam. I'm really feeling that this is just something much bigger than I had ever expected as well myself, to be involved in something so vast and impactful in this world, in this life. We had some ideas actually. It was Joan who actually began this journey for me as we were having conversations through our group in Toronto called Science for Peace and our Community Sustainability Working Group. I actually put in the chat the oldest group, or one of the oldest groups, with the CSV Garden discussion, along with our Science for Peace Climate Smart Food working group that we created so many years ago to start discussing some of these issues. And I've been sort of struggling, how do we get this moving? How do we actually implement this and make it happen? I'm feeling this could be it. If we can bring all the right people and all the right players together to actually make this something that's real and not just sort of a thought process. So the journey that I've been on as well has been rather remarkable, I guess, in terms of the connections that we've made and sort of the vision that's been brought to my attention of other people. In particular, there's a gentleman who lives on the island of Bermuda, really brought attention to so many other things. And of course, Andrew is involved with that same team in Bermuda at the crossroads of the Atlantic. And that was where we started to plant our trees of peace and reconciliation back in 2019.
60 seconds, Lloyd. 60 seconds.
And so that has brought us forward to, I think, the point where we're now talking about these peace centers and bringing together all of the solutions that we've identified. And I think that's something that I'd like to see if we can move forward with that. And so I've considered creating a concept note for that, as I described yesterday. Thank you very much.
30 seconds.
So
Joan, over to you.
I'll leave it for that.
Great, thank you so much. I'm going to use the word family. I love that Dr. Said used this word, because I always say that when I make a decision, my first thought is always the family. How does it affect the family? What impact am I going to have on the family? And I have to say that I do feel that this is my family. And I believe that we are all, with all the presentations today, we definitely have each other's back. And that's what I look for as well. Are we making the right decisions? Do we have the right capabilities? How can we support those who have vision? And that's what family does. It supports and uplifts. And so I really love what has happened in the last 16 days. I can tell you it was, I tried to be on every day, and I was, not for the whole 2 hours every day, but it was unfortunate that I couldn't, but I said I was dedicated to being here for the family. And I just want to have a shout out to all the presenters, the fantastic ideas. Andrew and Miriam, I don't know if there is a word, but I will use passion, and hopefully that passion is, there's commitment, there's purpose, all of those things. But I think passion and family, putting them together. I have a sister in Pakistan and a brother in California. And this is the way I say I'm a child of the universe, and this is our universal family. So thank you so much. And this has been wonderful, and I'm open for myself for collaborations on the platform. And where I'm not a leader, I am definitely 100% cheerleader. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Joan, but make sure you include your contact information in the chat as well as the links to your organizations that have global impact. I'd ask everyone here to put your information in the chat, including your name, your organization, if any, website, and if you choose, your WhatsApp number. I'll turn it back to you, Miriam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So on this closing day, we are going to repeat that we all are here to close the 16 days of activism for development. And I'm really grateful for all countries which joining us on the regular basis. To say thanks, we are going to take in brief comments from as a country's representatives. First, I'm going to invite Madam Zodwa from South Africa. She's the representative of Breakthrough Organization and also working with the Princess Seppi as well. So, ma'am, you can come on the stage and deliver your comments on this closing ceremony. So next, ma'am Soraya Banu, so be ready to present India, and ma'am Susan, please ready to present Kenya on this platform. With your brief remarks, please. Ma'am Zodwa from South Africa, are you with us, please?
Good afternoon, Mariam. Yes, I am with you. I really want to extend my appreciation and a huge gratitude with being part of the 16 days of activism. And we've, I've really learned a lot from participating, and it was really a successful event, and it has also provided us with a platform whereby we can engage with people from different countries. So, and it has exposed us to all the ideas, the models that are out there that we are going to share, and that we can also be able to bring in our own country, so that we can develop our programs, bring development in our communities. So I really thank you very much, Mariam, for putting this program together with Prince Andrew and Princess Seppi as well. Highly appreciated, and I fully support that we are going to stay being in the team. Thank you very much.
Well, before you leave,
much,
could you share your video and give us a hello? And anyone that is not challenged with connection problems, if you could share your video, we would like to get a group photo, if at all possible. Thank you. Next person.
Yes, Ma'am Soraya Banu, kindly, you have 2 minutes to briefly present your country, because India is also highly participated in this campaign. Sorry, today we missed Sharmista with us, which is bring India with a very high flag on this campaign. So this is over to you, Ma'am Soraya. Kindly unmute yourself.
Thank you. This is Professor Dr. Soraya Banu from Nagar, Chhattisgarh, India. I convey, on the behalf of India, I convey my best regards to all the honorables, all the speakers, all the chief guests for delivering such a super and informative message. And we learned many things. Dr. Syed Iftikhar Hussain sir is in front of us. He is a great knowledgeable person. I salute you, sir, and I want to keep in touch all of with you. And this was a great session of 16 days. We all learned very much, and we will continue on this platform. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So now we are moving towards Kenya. This is Ma'am Susan. Kindly unmute yourself and deliver your remarks on the closing ceremony. Ma'am Susan, kindly unmute yourself. Ma'am, can you Can you hear us? Yes, thank you.
Well, Mary, if there are technical challenges, I would suggest that perhaps we could, in fact, take this opportunity for anyone that. Are you able to speak now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, is
Okay.
it Kenya? Sorry, my speaker had a problem. Good evening, everyone. I thank you so much, the whole team. Thank you to all organizers on board for conducting this high-profile campaign for development. Thank you for taking into consideration to involve Kenyans to participate in the 16-day activism campaign for development. And on behalf of my Kenyan women, I want to say thank you so much, Dr. Mariam, Sir Andrew Williams, and the entire board for organizing such a nice, high-profile campaign for development. And I also want to say thank you so much for all the points that we were able to participate. For actually, it's my first time to participate in a global meeting. I have participated before in 1996 in Beijing, but for virtual meetings, it is the first time. And this time around, I'm so happy as a mother, as a woman, to represent the women in the grassroots in my area in Kenya, and also to participate in the future global events. I believe that we shall partner together, we shall work together, and that will also be informing us and updating us of the upcoming events or meetings or whatever campaign that will be there for like the one that we have right now, for the one that we have just finished today. I want to thank you, and on behalf of my country and all women in Kenya, I believe when we work things together, we are going into peace, development, and even equality. And we can see, actually, you can see a lot of things and a lot of progress, a lot of development through women's eyes. And that's a great phenomenon. Thank you so much again. And then I would like to say sorry. I would like to apologize to Lord Loy Helfeti. We couldn't make it for yesterday's meeting because we found ourselves all here in this meeting, and the participants were about there were about 50 speakers for real, and there were over 50 participants who joined this meeting as from the start. Therefore, congratulations to all women, congratulations to all participants, congratulations to all who presented, all panelists, all our presidents, all great and young, and whatever I can say. Thank you so much. This is a great, great family that has begun, and we shall not look forward. We shall not look backwards. We shall move forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Susan, for your comments. And yes, Kenya is already, so we have a very good partner over there. This is Rescue Wings Kenya is already working with Community Development Foundation. And I wish that you also connect with this organization over there. Then we can make this this partnership more stronger with the different initiatives. So now, at last, I'm going to call one of our very young doctor. This is Dr. Sadia Khan. Dr. Sadia Khan is one of the regular member joining from Pakistan, this campaign from the day first till now. She's the lady which is motivating so many women on the groups all the time. She's always in the effort to joining, to sending messages. And so this is a big support through this, this member. Dr. Sadia, I wish that you come on the floor and you deliver your comments, and you also part of the VEDIP program. And I also want to listen from you on this closing ceremony.
Thank you, Ms. Mariam. Thank you so much. 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 Thank Actually, I'm taking session. As you know, I'm not feeling well. Anyways, this was a wonderful session, and I really acknowledge all the services, and I really appreciate for the effort, and I'm really thankful for all the participants who joined us and motivate. And I wish you best of luck. And I want to become that Miss Mario, on the prominent and the dominant star of our society. I can speak to
Okay,
to
okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sadia. Thank you
you.
so much. And you can leave your details for the rest of the members in the chat also. Thank you so much for joining us. So, Serendo, this is over to you for the closing remarks.
Well, actually, I wanted to let everyone know that we have several special guests with us, and we do have time. So I would like to first thank everyone for joining us. And those of you that have to leave, you're always welcome back. But I would like to know if His Excellency Sharif Balday can unmute and introduce himself. We have him as a diplomatic consultant to the presidency of the Gambia, and also to the ECOWAS, which is the Economic Community of West African States. So His Excellency Sharif Balday, if you can unmute yourself. And then, since we do have time, I would like to allow anyone that's here that has not had a chance to introduce themselves to do so. So first, Sharif Balday, and if not him, then the next person in line, and then we'll conclude. Thank you so much. I'll open the floor. I don't hear His Excellency I don't hear His Excellency here. So I'll open up the floor for any closing thoughts or comments from anyone else before we close this session. Now's that time.
If I may go ahead, everybody, good day. I'm
Yes,
Chantal
ma'am.
Maxim. I'm the National Project Director for South Africa Informal Traders Alliance. Thank you for the invitation. Absolutely amazing group. Unfortunately, I could only be part of today's introduction and just going through your presentation. Please include me. I've subscribed. I want to be part of this group. There's a lot of collaboration that can happen. For an organization that represents close to 5 million businesses in South Africa across all sectors, there is definitely a huge need to collaborate, and we need you. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. I do see another hand raised, but let me let you all know that I have been diligently downloading the contents of the past 15 days. Now I'm uploading them so that I'll be able to share that link of the entire process or the entire session to anyone whose email I have. We will also be uploading this to our website going forward. But for those of you who are participating, I'll make sure you get the first draft. There's a hand raised from Vivo 1920. Please introduce yourself, your name, your country, and your comment. Thank you. Viva 1920, your hand is raised. Now's that time.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak before you. And it's really a veneration that all the great people are gathered here from the last 15 days, and today is the 16th day. And unfortunately, I missed the 15 days, and it's only today that I got this opportunity to speak before you. And this is because of Ma'am Mariam and Dr. Sadia. I would give credit to them. And as Ma'am Mariam was saying about Dr. Sadia, and she did, and I got this invitation. Thank you very much. Just for a few moments before I joined, and really it's wonderful. And I raised hand just before the previous participant said that please join me also in that. And the topic that you've chosen for the gender balance and for the rural development of the masses, especially the lower privileged people, especially the children and the women. That's marvelous. And in agriculture, if I could be helpful, I'm there with you. And whatever I have, I will share. And I had already worked in this section of the people, especially the women of the army farms. That were those women who lived on the leased area, and still that is in the farm. And in the brick-in areas, those people are very underprivileged. And in agriculture, I can also be helpful in writing good projects for the enlistment of especially the women. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I won't take so much time. I just spoke so that I may take as little time as possible. Stay blessed, and I thank you again for giving me this opportunity.
Well, first, as I asked you, please state your name and your organization.
I have written my name and email and WhatsApp number also in the chat box. That's Wasim Anjum.
Thank you so much, sir.
Well, thank you so much. However,
thank you so much.
We are streaming.
Actually, Sadia shared with us later. Otherwise, we can add you, today's talk as well. So, but no problem. We are here. We can connect with you, and definitely we can work together on your shared initiative. So, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, blessings.
Okay, the floor is open to close. Now's that time. You can either raise your hand or say something, or we're out of here. Well, I'll share my screen again with the with our standard opening. Hold on just a moment, please.
I was going to ask, are we going to do a group shot? Or we put everybody on the screen?
If anybody should come on the screen, we should have a group photo.
Well, the short answer is yes, yes, and yes.
Please expose yourself, everybody, which is hidden, so that we have a group photo.
Yes, I've shared it to the gallery.
I'm taking the photos. If anybody will be there, I can't then regret.
So in the whole field visits.
So say cheese. 1, 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yes. So 1 second more. I think more and more are exposing. They're unhiding them. Please come on. Bravo, bravo. Ah, that's nice. So I will share these pictures. There's a houseful show today, clothing ceremony. So stay blessed, everybody, and we will miss you all. We will miss these moments.
Before moving, we are going to play our video again for all guests.
Yes,
and then
exactly.
Yes. So
perfect.
So I'm going to share my screen, please.
Perfect.
While we're waiting, Princess Shafi wasn't able to join us today.
No, she was traveling.
Yeah, no, she didn't. And thanks a lot, John. Thanks a lot, John. You were such a wonderful person. We are happy that. Thank you so much.
So this was the tribute to all members that we are a family, and now we are on a one place to stay in touch with each other. Thank you so much for joining us in these 16 days, and especially grace the closing ceremony with us. So thanks to everyone, and good night from our side.
Wait, hold on. Everybody, could we just give Miriam and Andrew a round of applause, please? Because they're so wonderful, and we just want to thank you for an excellent job.
Well done, well done.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we're out.
Bye.
Love you all.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well done to you.
Bye.